What's a family secret you didn't get told until you were older that made things finally make sense? Growing up, my dad had a running joke, or what I thought was a joke, about how his brother lied his way onto disability. He'd shake his head, smirk, and say, "All you gotta do is tell the doctor you got abducted by aliens. Boom, disability check." I was a kid, so I just laughed along. The way he said it always sounded like some grift, some elaborate scheme his brother pulled off to get out of working. The story stuck with me. For years, I honestly believed it was easy to game the system, that people like my uncle could walk into a clinic, spin some crazy story, and start getting government checks. I never questioned it. My dad was confident, persuasive, and loud. His voice had weight, even when it didn't make sense. Then he broke down. It started slow. Little things. He became obsessed with the neighbors. Said they were watching him, recording him, following him to the grocery store. He'd stare out the blinds for hours, convinced their porch lights were some sort of signal. We thought it was stress, or maybe just age catching up with him. Then it got worse. He stopped sleeping. He stopped shaving. He became convinced the government had implanted a chip in his skull. He bought a handheld radio and carried it around the house, turning the dial endlessly, claiming he could hear them through static. He said they were experimenting on him. Said his thoughts weren't his own. He went out and got a CT scan without telling anyone, then showed us the printout and pointed to a shadow. "That's it," he said. "That's the transmitter." We couldn't ignore it anymore. He spiraled out so fast it made my head spin. One day, he was holding down a job, going to cookouts, calling me on Sundays to complain about politics. A month later, he was sitting in his underwear on the front lawn, shouting at an empty car parked across the street. When we tried to help, he called us traitors. Said we were working with them. Said I was a clone of his real son. Eventually, he was diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia. He fought the diagnosis at first. Said the doctors weren't on it, but the breakdowns kept happening. The delusions got worse. He couldn't work, couldn't even hold a normal conversation. Every topic, every single one, looped back to the government, trying to fuck me in the ass, his words. He'd say it in public, at the pharmacy, at restaurants, at my niece's birthday party. It broke something in the family. No one knew what to do. Some people distanced themselves. Some tried to reason with him. I just sat there, listening, nodding, and holding back the kind of grief that doesn't come from losing someone, but from watching them slowly disappear. That's when the check started coming in. Disability. After enough failed attempts at work and multiple psych evaluations, the system finally agreed he couldn't be expected to live like everyone else. The same man who used to mock his brother for lying was now relying on the exact same support. I was in my 20s by then. Sitting with my aunt one afternoon, I finally asked her about all of it. I brought up my uncle, the alien story, the disability checks. She gave me a look I'll never forget, sad, a little tired, and said, "Your uncle never lied. He really believed it." She told me he'd started having episodes in his early 20s. At first it was government surveillance. Then it was aliens. One night he ran barefoot into the woods and didn't come back for 2 days. When he did, he had scratches all over his legs and said he'd been taken aboard a ship. He was crying, shaking, completely convinced. The doctor didn't laugh. He diagnosed him. Paranoid schizophrenia. I sat with that for a long time. The story my dad told all those years wasn't a joke. It was a misunderstanding. His way of making sense of something he didn't want to accept. His brother wasn't lazy. He wasn't a liar. He was sick. And so was my dad. It just took longer to show. I think about that a lot now. How mental illness runs through families like a river underground, unseen until it floods everything. How easy it is to mistake delusion for deceit, sickness for selfishness. My dad didn't know he was telling the truth about his brother, but he was. And by the time he realized it, it was too late to say he was sorry.